the left brain, right brain. I got left brain over there. Greg, biochem student. Biomed student, skater boy. And I'm right brain, I'm pretty sure. Arts student kind of vibe. And today we have the incredible multidisciplinary Tom Gerrard. Tom Gerrard, how are you?
Great, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for inviting us to your studio. This is a brand new place, apparently.
Yeah, just moved in here the other day. I've been out of Melbourne for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I went up for a holiday to Byron Bay during lockdowns and got locked out. And it was pretty interesting. It was a bit of a shock at first, going for a 3-week holiday and not being able to come home. But I ended up finding a studio up there and then renting a house and had to furnish a house. And it was a bit of a, I know, by the time they opened the borders, I was set up. And I just stayed there, more or less.
So do you live there now, technically?
No. I live in St Kilda. Yeah.
Wow. So you're always moving around. I've heard of all your travel stories as well.
Yeah. I find my life goes in like 6-year cycles.
Yeah.
And 6 or 7 years. And it's similar to the human body, you know what I mean?
It's very spiritual, yeah.
Yeah. And I tend to move around a lot, either move overseas or I don't know, go traveling a lot or change career or... I don't know. I'm not planning on changing career now.
You got it locked in.
Found the one.
Locked in. Yeah. This is awesome.
But,
well, thank you for having us. Did you notice that like Byron Bay was 90% like Argentinians?
There was a lot of Argentinians there.
So many.
Yeah.
There's none here. I'm from Argentina. He's from Chile.
Yeah.
But we literally don't get a chance to speak Spanish. We don't even speak Spanish with each other, to be honest. It's like a weird shame thing. You speak Spanish, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit rusty now.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to speak to the rest of the podcast in Spanish. That would be awesome and really awkward for Greg. Actually.
Yeah, it's been like 8 years since I was lived in Spain. But I worked for a Spanish company and had to speak Spanish a lot and did boardroom meetings and stuff in Spanish. And but everyone gave me shit because I had a Bolivian accent. Because I learned to speak Spanish in Bolivia and Ecuador.
Is that with the shiz and the sis?
Man, it was... I don't know. It's more like... I guess it's like rocking up to Australia with a South African accent. To me, if you don't know the language that well, it doesn't stand out that much. But they all made a big deal of it. Every time I was just start laughing at it. Go, say it again.
It's hard for us to even tell. Like when we speak Spanish, I can't tell that he's from Chile because we're just not exposed to it.
Yeah.
We're like, I don't know. We're like, what's the word? I don't know. We've been Australianized, basically.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I read somewhere online, and you can tell me if this is true or not, because if it isn't true, then I'll scrap 10 of the things I was going to say afterwards. So these guys that we're surrounded with, and I really do feel like I'm being watched right now. Like I know they're all individual guys, right? They're all different people.
Yeah.
Are they based off of, quote, like stoic, like Spanish people that you met? Or, South Americans that you met on your journey?
To be honest... It's been like a bit of a journey working out where they even come from.
It changes each time, right?
Well, not really. I'm pretty clear now. But at the for years I thought, because I started painting them while I was traveling.
Yeah.
And at first, I grew up doing a lot of graffiti, and it tended to be most graffiti artists would either do like a b-boy style character, or they'll paint like Bugs Bunny or something more well known,
Yeah.
And I was never really into that. I wanted to just sort of make my own characters, and there was a lot of like street art going on in like Europe and also America, and I was traveling a lot at that time.
Yeah.
So I was inspired by people I was seeing, like Os Gemios from Brazil and Barry McGee from San Francisco, who was Twist writer back then. But I was inspired by these artists who were doing like quirky characters, and I wanted to do my own. And at first it was a bit Australiana, and then I started traveling a lot through Latin America, and then I moved to Spain, and I thought I was drawing the locals. But when I really tap into it, I realized that it's coming out of my subconscious, because I'm Maltese, and I grew up in a house full of women. I was the only guy, and didn't have my dad around much. He's around, but not, not day to day or anything. And I used to get looked after by my grandfather, and he'd take me to the bocce club in Sunshine.
Yeah.
And there was just a big Maltese community there, and they were like my father figures, So
this guy is like watching over you, almost like your father.
It's like a whole bunch of them.
That's
like
so wild. He's everywhere. Yeah, he's on the
Yeah.
mug as well.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And like some people say, it's like, oh, look, this one looks scary or that one looks a bit creepy or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like to me, it's like they've all got real kind hearts. You know, they just like might have a bit of a tougher exterior, and
they seem like very like stoic is a good word for them because they seem like quite chill and relaxed people. I know they used to be called like somebody used to call them like mullet man and stuff like that. But that's just like an Aussie way, right? Of like like you know.
Well, when they first started emerging out of my graffiti, like I'd do like letters with connections, and you know they're connecting to one thing to another, and it can't just like go nowhere. It has to sort of have a purpose for being there. And so I'd do a character at the end, and like some of the connections would turn into its hair and that, but so it'd be in a mullet style.
Yeah.
So that's where that name came from. But that was like the early form of it, like you know, like 2010 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
So how long have you been drawing this like face for?
Since about 2010, I'd say.
Is
probably they were like the earliest versions. Like there were versions of it beforehand, but I didn't even recognize them as them back then.
Yeah.
It's only when I really looked through old sketchbooks, it's like shit, man. There's like this is a real ancient one.
Do you feel like this face, as we know it, like would have come to you regardless of your travels?
Yeah, I reckon
it was going to come out in some shape or form.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I guess so. Like who's to know? You know,
who can say the alternative timeline of Tom Gerrard?
Yeah.
Do you feel, I do a lot of like self-portraits as well, and all of them I've done when I have a mustache and a beard. Like, do you feel like facial hair is important? Like, if you took, for example, one of these guys and they didn't have facial hair, would they lose some sort of power? Is there some kind of like poetry in the lines as well?
Some of them don't. This guy down here doesn't have any facial hair.
Oh shit, he doesn't have any.
Oh, that's him. But some of them don't. The thing is, like, when I first started drawing faces, I didn't know how to draw a face. And so I kept stuffing things up like jawline and all that sort of stuff. So it'd be like, stuffed up the jaw, chuck a beard on it.
To cover it up, right?
Yeah. Oh, the lips are too high. I'll turn into a mustache and put another one underneath. Yeah, exactly. So and then it's like, his eyes are like crooked. All right, put sunglasses on him.
Yeah.
And so it was always, that's where all these like, I guess accessories and facial hair and all that come from. It's more the,
like a confidence thing, right?
It's just covering up mistakes, you know?
Yeah. So then this one here, for example, is like a very confident person.
Yeah, I guess,
Well, are you confident as an artist? Being like, I didn't need to do that. You know
Sometimes
what I mean? It speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because when we're evolving as artists, well, personally, I found that I make a lot of mistakes when I draw, when I try to create art. And then those extra lines that I add in by mistake, let's just say, I start to turn them into wrinkles, and then my characters end up being old and stoic, and it looks like they've been shaped by, you know, nature and life, and essentially they've aged into the paper or like out of the paper or something. It's a bit hectic, but
so in order to like cover up some sort of negative space, you add years of wisdom and like
I feel like
stories. People's faces are stories, right?
Everybody's body is like a sort of transient. It's going to age in different ways, and people get injured, and people have like all these marks on their faces and on their bodies, and that's just character. So I find when I make a mistake in my drawing, it's just adding character essentially. And then if it's a wrinkle, I'll accentuate it or shade it or something like that.
Totally. Yeah, that's how it works. Line here, line there, dash there, dash there. They look a bit too old. You take a few out, youth them up a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
polish it back.
It's the beauty of art. You just keep working on it till it's done. It's you know, some paintings take me years. Some paintings go into galleries and come back and they're still not done.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But you'd never tell the gallery that.
No, not really. No. Yeah. There were people come and go, what happened to that painting? I've been looking for that painting. Is that still around? And it's like, no, I sold that. And they're actually going, what about this one? It's the same painting. I've just painted over it.
Really? So then the actual like materiality has like a meaning in itself, right? Because you're carrying that along. It's the same piece of wood or canvas.
Yeah.
Like changing constantly.
Well, it depends. I used to do that a lot when I worked on wooden panels because that was sort of stiff boards that you couldn't, store that easily. Whereas now I work on canvas mostly. And if I want to, if I don't really paint over my canvases because I just take them off the stretcher bars and roll them up. And it's just like rolling a piece of fabric around a tube. It doesn't take up much space at all. So I build more of an archive. But I definitely used to paint over a lot of paintings just to cut down on storage. But I don't know, it was a good test for me because like growing up doing a lot of graffiti, like it never lasts. So, usually I just get a photo and then it might be gone the next day. And that's like, you sort of just deal with that. It's just part and parcel. So when I'm working in the studio, like if a painting I'm not that keen on is sitting around for too long, it's just like, no, you've had your day. you've had thousands of sets of eyes on you. People had the opportunity to purchase you or whatever.
And take photos of it as well.
Yeah,
so now it's gone. That's it.
Yeah, it technically still exists in photographic form. It's just the
it's good.
True. Has Donnie been there? Because I know I saw that you worked with him, right?
Yeah, I've done a couple of things with him.
What's the story with how he found you? Because I'm like, did he see these guys and go, that's
because everyone was just kept tagging each other, us. Like I get tagged on his post, he get tagged on mine, and then I go in touch with him and did a painting of him for the Archibald Prize. And I went to Sydney with him and went out for lunch with him and we were cruising around in his car and it was pretty trippy. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah, and he was in full.
So he commissioned you?
No, I approached him about it. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I did a painting of him. It came up pretty good. My dad's got it hanging in his house.
That's crazy.
And it went really far. It didn't make the finals, but it made this thing called the Salon des Refuses, which is like a side exhibition to the Archibald. It's not in the Art Gallery of New South Wales, but it's up on the harbour there. It's like in a beautiful gallery. It was pretty cool to see.
Did you guys go out and have like a party as well? Did you go out with the town with Donnie Benet?
Not really. No,
that'd be awesome, mate. He's
an
enigma. Like he's such a mysterious guy.
Yeah, he took me out for Vietnamese. Really? That was pretty cool. And I don't know. I was staying at a friend's art studio at the time, and he just went and sat on the couch there. And I took some photos of him, and I got him to pose me. I took a full 360-degree photos of his head, and so you got all different angles. Now I got one from like looking under the chin up and everything. Like I've got like his whole head photographed, and I'll probably
when
use
art
it one
imitates
day.
life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've heard obviously you talk about a lot of your graffiti and like street art influences. I haven't heard you speak on podcasts that I've obviously researched quite heavily about your fine art influences. Who are they? Who are some of your fine art influences?
Well, in the early days, I was looking at a lot of like street artists and graffiti artists who had transitioned into the gallery space. That was my first sort of gateway into it. And then, so a lot of the big names there, I mentioned Oz Jemios and Barry McGee before, but also like Futura 2000, really like him. I've got two friends, Dabs and Myla, and they're really big in LA now. Yeah, we grew up together and we're from the same like graffiti crew and stuff. So to see them like get a career like that. And I also grew up around other like local artists such as like Roan. He's been a friend of mine for years, and just seeing these people emerge into the art scene, it really gave me the vision that I could follow that same path. I just needed to sort my art out.
Is that like a recent kind of thing that's happened for street artists?
Like the people I'm mentioning is probably going on like 20 years of their career developing now,
Cool.
But back in 2013, I was living in London and I got a job working at Christie's at the auction house.
Oh yeah.
And I was working as a graphic designer, laying out all the catalogs. But I was just my job was to stare at art all day I was laying out all the books and I had all the pricing and all the detail on the art. And it was just, for me, it was just art school. And I was also seeing a lot of art that I was like, I could have done that. That one's shit. All this sort of stuff. It's
which
like
is the best feeling, right? When creativity is like, I can do that. I'm going to do that,
Yeah.
It's hard also in fine art.
Exactly.
You see all these things that have so many like layers to them. I don't mean like metaphorical layers, like physical layers between you and the artwork. And you're like, fuck, I don't have the techniques to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like being overly confident or anything. It was just like I was seeing stuff that I knew that I could produce.
Yeah.
But I also saw heaps of stuff that really inspired me. And I thought, man, I really like this artist and that artist. And I saw styles that I really liked that I could see myself doing in the future.
Cool.
But I didn't know what my style looked like because all I'd done was just every time I drew letters. Every time I painted letters.
Yeah.
And I thought I need to start working this out. So I started just drawing every single day. And I still draw like every day. Even this morning, did a drawing, before I came
Even when
in.
you don't feel like drawing, you're going to draw anyway?
I'll put pen to paper, at least for a minute. I just treat it like brushing my teeth or anything you do once a day.
Which we also, I've forgotten to do that a lot lately.
What, brush your teeth?
Once, I did today for you, but I don't get that on the podcast.
So is there something you've been working towards, like maybe something you've dreamt about that you thought is outside your immediate capacity to complete, like an artwork that is in your potential, like in your skill set, let's just say, but you haven't sat down and done it before? or is there something you can't do?
Oh, I don't believe in the can't do part because artists work in teams as well, you know. So something I would really like to do is like 3D sculpture, like public sculpture.
Yeah.
That I need to get my head around the thinking. I've been working a lot with ceramics lately to sort of start working in a 3D like format. But as far as like if a council came to me and said, "Oh, we want you to do a big bronze sculpture for this park," I'd have to really stop and go, "All right, like what am I going to do?" Because I'm not that trained up in that way. But then if I was to if I could express myself and get my ideas across properly, then you just go to the foundry and hand them drawings and dimensions and all that type of stuff and talk materials, and then the professionals say if it can work or not. You know,
I would love nothing more than like a giant golden sculpture of him.
Yeah,
that would be You know, you're living in a cultural city if he's just like sitting in the middle of a park or something like that.
Well, you know somebody who is in 3D fabrication for aerospace. I'm pretty sure, don't you?
I used to. I haven't seen him in decades.
Is he much of an artist, that guy?
Yeah, I haven't seen him for years.
Okay.
But it was a friend of mine who was really he was good at doing 3D graffiti, and it led him into working in 3D fabrication.
Yeah, because
so you say space.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't talk on this stuff because
you're making parts for spaceships essentially.
Yeah.
3D
I haven't
printing.
spoken to the guy for a while, so I can't quote on what he's doing these days. But I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't even know who I'm talking about really. I'm just trying to gauge like, because in terms of what you want to create, there's lots of technologies out there now. So you can do 3D printing, you can do sculpture, which has been around for centuries, thousands of years, millennia. But I can see that you've got that inspiration from the graffiti side of things. I would really love to see you come up with something that matches the sort of aesthetic of where the sculpture is, like a sculpture that is essentially a graffiti. And I don't see much of that. I see a lot of architecture that's very brutalist, and it's hard to bring out the light or bring out the beauty in it. And that's a sort of feminine side to things. And I understand that you do a lot of color and stuff like that, but eventually you have to boil it down and see like, well, am I capable of changing my stark, brutal sort of artwork, like these like pencil strokes or like brush strokes or spray paint?
What if the art can change the terrain?
Yeah, something like that, like beautify it or something.
Can. I mean, this studio, what would it be without like everything that's around it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was an empty room.
Empty room.
But I have been thinking about that actually, because I was stuck in traffic on Punt Road the other day.
Classic.
Was it yesterday?
What's that?
Yesterday?
Nah, it was last week.
Okay,
but it was just where the Richmond station is in the overpass, and there's there's this big sign up on a building, and it's one of those ones that lights up but it spins around as well.
The Tocky Ham.
Yeah, that's the one. And I saw that and I thought, man, I want, like, they've had that since the 70s or who knows how long, you know? And I thought, man, that's a good idea to buy a billboard space like that.
Wow, yeah.
And just own it.
A spinny head, like a spinning
whatever,
head.
you know, but it's you can change it monthly or whatever, but you own it, and it's your space to get your art out there. But I saw that as sort of thinking like a graffiti writer's approach, like, you know, climbing buildings and getting the roller poles out, a different way of that, but taking over ad space, but just owning it yourself, like doing it in an adult way.
Yeah, I understand.
More professional,
so cool.
you know.
I mean, I've seen your stuff everywhere. Like, I used to work at PBS and see your stuff. Like, you have it all, like, on every floor of the Collingwood Yards building.
Yeah, I painted that when it was abandoned though.
Really?
Yeah.
So that wasn't a commission.
No, they did the refurb and they kept it there.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And that, what an honor, right? To be like,
I was pretty happy with that.
Stuff? Yeah, it's incredible.
Because there was a lot of
the beers there. I just fucking see all of them. It's incredible.
Yeah, there was a lot of amazing artwork in there, and I was one of the few that survived. It was really a real honor.
It used to be a school.
Yeah, I know. My grandfather used to teach there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you do it as like a tribute to your grandpa?
No, not really.
Okay. Maybe subconsciously.
But no, I actually I was there helping out someone else with an installation, and someone else was meant to paint the stairwell.
Yeah.
And the organizer was a bit flustered, going, "Shit, he's pulled out. Like, what are we going to do?" And I just go, "Can I do it?" And she's like, "Yeah, go for it." And so it was pretty random how it all came together. And I just showed up the next day with buckets load of paint, and just got it done. It was really hard to do.
It's definitely become I think almost like a subconscious thing in the city. Like I knew about your artwork before I knew who you were. I thought you looked like him.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
And then people
sorry to disappoint.
It's like an ego thing. Like when I do it, I do I do my own self-portrait. So it's like, okay, well, who's going to buy an artwork with your own face on it? You know what I mean? But you're doing this guy, you're doing this a service. You're making the city more multicultural.
Do you do self-portraits at all?
Yeah, I've done some self-portraits. I do a self-portrait every year on my birthday.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
did
really
one
cool.
last week, actually. Yeah.
Have you ever grown like facial hair before?
I've had a crack. I was in India for a few months and grew a beard over there. And
that's the way.
But it's a bit ginger. Nowadays it's got greys all through it. I'm fine. I've had lots of different hairstyles and stuff over the years, but I prefer to I don't know, keep it clean these days.
It'd be cool to see like one where it has like, how you can see like what facial hair you can get at the barber. One of those, but with like him in like different styles.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
He could be the template for the future generation of beard people.
Well, I have done paintings like that. Like gridded up with all just different facial hair. Cool. I did a big one for Movember.
Oh, yeah.
A few years ago, they got it hanging in their head office.
You're the perfect candidate for that. You're the Movember guy.
Yeah, there's a few clients that end up being like just perfect match. Like Donny Benet as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked into the work of like Brett Whiteley?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I see a lot of Brett Whiteley when you combine like that guy with these like introspective looks at like your studios or like, real places. Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, thanks.
It's a cool fresh take on that as well.
No, thanks. It's a real compliment.
Yeah, I haven't been able to go to his studio. I know you can go to his studio in Sydney. They've opened it up. Would you ever open up this place to do like little tours?
I did a pop-up last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, just invite like people. I've got people on my newsletter list and all that, and just invite them over and I don't know, have a look through the drawers, see if there's anything they want. It's like hang a few paintings up and.
I saw the one at Bailey Nelson. So I went for like a Tom Gerrard like scavenger hunt with my mate. It's like, how long will it take me to find a Tom Gerrard? It took us 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like when you buy, like I always say the same shit. I think I said to you when I bought my Commodore. As soon as you buy a Commodore or a car, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you're just aware of it. It's the same with you. As soon as you're like aware of a Tom Gerrard, you'll see it. You'll see it like in sticker form too. I've seen your stuff in stickers like everywhere now as well. And like Fitzroy, is that you as well? Like going up and like, yeah.
Marketing and promotion. It's like
key.
all about the subliminal thing.
Messaging.
Yeah. It's just my introduction to art was like get your stuff up on the street, get it seen by everyone on the train lines, like on the trains, like as many places as possible, and just be seen and do it in your best style, And I just still roll with that till this day. But I'm fortunate to be in a position where companies will commission me to paint the whole side of a building, and they'll pay me well for it, and I'll get to do my own thing. And I still just try to just do it my way. And I don't know.
Well, I think your way is very conducive. I think a lot of artists who are just coming through school and not really sharing their art in terms of just putting it out in the public eye, putting it straight in front of their face, essentially.
Yeah.
They don't know how to make a name for themselves without coming up with something so extraordinary that it is seen. So I think little by little, and with all your immense talent and your skill set, you've been able to accumulate this wealth and this plethora of artistry. I think it's really fantastic, and I think I'm sure you're proud of yourself, but I'm in awe. Like
you might be proud of yourself, but Greg's way prouder.
Thanks, Greg.
I don't know.
He bought you like gifts and shit as well. I don't know what's going on here. Just dump
Borat on the table. Who doesn't want to get
We'll get to that later. But I wanted to ask you. So I saw the Bailey Nelson one, and it just so many questions came to my head. I was like, how did he get the artwork on the outside? And I was like, maybe a commission. How do you get the artwork on the inside? You have the building of Tom Gerrard's.
Yeah, the inside was a bit of a weird one. The mural that's on it at the moment is a newer one. There was an original one that I did for Bailey Nelson, and they wanted me to paint the inside as well. And at first I thought it was just a bit of a temporary thing, and I painted a few, and then they go, oh no, we want more here and more there. And I was just, I thought it was a bit overdone in there personally.
No, I think it's a bit like you understand the symbolic connotations of what you've done, right? Yeah. You've taken over the store.
Yeah.
My friend said it couldn't have been a commission because you don't see corporate places of any kind really, unless they're just like, like smaller chains. But a big like name like that, allowing you inside the shop.
Yeah.
Your art's there. It's everywhere as well. Like, it's no matter where you go, you could probably go to the fitting room. I'm pretty sure they're down there as well. And it's just like it's incredible to have that like mix of corporate and you just doing whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's pretty
that's a rare example. I don't think that happens anywhere.
Yeah, I'm real fortunate to be able to, because I got a background in graphic design. I run my studio like a creative agency. So, sometimes I'm just in the computer designing stuff, but it's all my artwork. It's all based off my artwork. Whereas when I was working in like advertising agencies and like branding agencies and stuff, it was all, you had to just please the client all the time. Whereas now, like, I get hired to be me, and it's much easier to work from that place. And, and when I get someone who's like Bailey Nelson, who has wide reach and a big name, and I know lots of people see it, like it pushes me to go, all right, let's bring it and do something really good.
Was the original, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, the original Tom Gerrard, Bailey Nelson Wall, was that done as like when you were in the graphic design mode? Like when you were still graphic design, was it after?
No, it was all done during my art career. Yeah. I just painted a whole bunch of big heads on the side. It was interesting though, the negotiation, because they only had the budget for me to do the bottom section. And I thought, I know if I do that, it'll get just tagged over and it might be gone in like 6 months to a year. And so I said to them, look, if you guys pay for a scissor lift, I'll do the top section for free, because I'm already there with all the paint. Yeah. And then I negotiated like glasses and sunglasses just for all my friends and family.
That's incredible.
And and they said yes. And so by having like the double story mural, it just had way more impact and
of course
power. And
it's huge. It's a giant canvas sitting in the middle of like Chapel Street.
Yeah, exactly. So not to talk business or anything.
No, but the combination of the two, when done from a place of integrity, remarkable.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take the hit for certain opportunities, especially when painting murals. Like, it's when someone says, "Oh, can you paint this mural in the back of a laneway?" that you're not really going to be able to stand back and see, as opposed to like a massive one on Hoddle Street that people are stuck in traffic and looking at. Some opportunities you just take it on the chin and go, look, this one doesn't pay very well, but like it's a great billboard for my art. And any corporation will be paying money to have that space, and I get paid to
do it.
For me.
Use the system against itself as well.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you ever see, like with some of them, like do you still do, I guess you can talk about this, maybe you can't, we'll delete it if you can't, but you still do illegal graffiti?
Not much.
Not much, yeah.
I still, I do some stuff that's sort of borderline. Like I'm not like, there's no way I'm like a hardcore graffiti artist anymore. But I do paint some places that I haven't got permission to do, and that's about it. But I'm not really running down the train lines and all that.
But do you ever see? No, leave it to us. But do you ever see like a space and you go, okay, well maybe back in the day I would have gone and graphed that space, but now I could try to ask the business. Like, do you ever play it that way, where you ask the business for the space?
Totally.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
That's
I've done that. Cool. Done that for years.
Yeah,
that's always the first thing. You knock on the door and ask permission.
The space is the first thing that gets you.
If they say no, you might come back later on that night.
Yeah. Would you ever like let some of your friends know about the spot and instead?
Yeah, I've always I know this is a weird thing for a graffiti artist to say, or ex-graffiti artist, I'll claim these days. But I never wanted to piss anyone off. So I was always quite choosy on where I painted. Yeah, like I know if like if I broke into the train yard and painted the train, there's not someone that walks up to their train and like, oh, my bloody train, what's he done?
It's not their train to fucking begin with.
And same with the train lines and all that type of stuff. And same with painting on the streets. Like if there was like a power box, I'd do a tag on it or whatever. Like I don't care. It's not like some
mum and pop shop that comes out and goes, what the fuck did you do to my...
If someone's painted their wall white and someone goes and hits it, which that does happen a lot, but I've never been one to do that sort of stuff. I've never wanted anyone walking out going, that prick, So
we're speaking about the moral like ethics of like tagging and vandalism as well. That's cool that there's like a code.
Oh, there
for
is.
some.
Yeah, for you. Yeah.
For me there always was. Like, I was raised to be a good kid, I guess, but I got up to a lot of trouble, but my moral compass was always aligned,
That's cool, because I don't think there's many people who like actively consider that.
Yeah.
And just go, okay, I'm going to just fucking tag this building.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Well, I've been around a lot of people, and I've sort of been like, hey, and they're like, and then they'll be like, don't put my name up there. I don't want to be part of this. It's like, but yeah, I've never said to anyone not to do anything because it's not my place. It's like they're on their path, I'm on mine, but sometimes I just step out of it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you find that, like, I guess now with your art, are you at a point where, like, what was the point exactly when you were like, I am now able to work as an artist, like, full time? Do you know what that exact point was?
Yeah. I was working as a freelance graphic designer, and the contract ended. It pissed me off at the time, but it was fate. And I went and I was just working in the studio, and I was always working like on the weekends and public holidays and after work, and it was just it was bloody exhausting. Yeah. Like to work all day and then go to the studio and try and paint, and I just never had the energy to get much done. Yeah. And then once this contract ended, I just went straight into the studio, and I had an exhibition booked as well for a couple of months' time, and I knew I needed the time to work on that. And then the exhibition happened, and I had enough money to live for like 3 months. And then by the end of that 3 months, the next thing had come off, and then the next thing, and the next thing, and I'm still
just kind of went at the right
still
time.
There,
right?
Yeah. But it's the interesting thing is it took me so many years to get the courage to become a full-time artist. Like I wanted it. Like I was around all these people doing it. I was hanging out with artists. I could see that it was possible, but I didn't have the confidence to take the plunge because it's all about like the financial side of things. Paying off a mortgage and having a lifestyle to upkeep as well. Like I wanted to live a certain quality of life. And the funny thing is the first year was a bit tough, and the second year was, it started to get a bit better. But by the third year, like I was like doubling or tripling what I was earning as a graphic designer. Really? And it was like, man, this is
that's because you threw yourself into it,
Well, I just wanted to, I just loved it so much. Like even now, like I'm a shocker on a Monday morning, like because I haven't been in the studio on the weekend, and I wake up and my wife knows just to let me go because I'm just itching to paint. I'm itching to get into it. I love my business. I love what I do, and it's that same energy that I had for doing graffiti. Like I went, I sneak out in the middle of the night and go paint something and maybe get caught. You know what I mean? Like I just really wanted to do it, and I was the same with skateboarding as a teenager, and I'm still the same with my art today. But it's just always finding something to channel that energy into, and I never have to choose because there's always something that I just can't do without in my life, and art is that.
Do you find that like a lot of the people that you kind of came up with were able to also do that as well, or
not many?
Yeah.
No, very few.
We have to change that somehow.
Yeah.
Because that feeling that you're talking about, that desire to draw, people, because they want to make it so badly, they burn out. You know what I mean? It's hard to find that balance, like where you have enough money. I was listening to, my friend recommended me a book by Virginia Woolf called A Space of One's Own, which is like a feminist text. And it talks about how you need a certain amount of money and a certain amount, this is back in like the 1920s or 30s, certain amount of money and a certain space of your own. And if you have those two things, you can create in a way that doesn't burn you out. I might have like misquoted that book. I've only listened to 1 hour of the audiobook. But yeah, it feels like that, right? Like you need to...
Well, what I believe is there's two sides to being an artist. And there's the creation side, creating the art, and then there's running a business. And I think the myth with artists and the starving artists and all that is the creation part is so innate within you, and it just pours out of you, and you're like, oh, this is so much fun. I love it. But then the running the business thing is a different side. It's like left brain, right brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, which is why we made this, because we're trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
And and it's I think a lot of creatives only focus on the creation and have a hard time running the business side of things.
For sure.
Because there's an art to it, and it's it takes a lot of thought and a lot of energy, a lot of time, and it's something that builds over time as well. It's like any skill. But
how did you build? Did you naturally have resilience, or how did you build that resilience like for the first 2 years?
Well, I started the podcast when I was still a graphic designer.
Oh yeah.
Bench Talk podcast.
Yeah.
Check it out, people.
Awesome podcast.
Still going. I started that in 2016, and I interview artists from all over the world. And the first year, I was very focused on interviewing full-time artists and just saying, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you do it? And I found by like episode 20, I'd quit my job and I was off to the races, And now I actually I've started a business with my wife, and we train artists up how to build the business side.
Mentorship program.
I heard about that. Yeah, it's called awesome. The Art Career Academy.
Is that for, or what ages is that for?
Oh, all ages.
All ages.
Awesome. We teach people, but it's usually people who are like on the cusp of going full time with their art career.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else that's. Do you like that offers that kind of a service? Never.
Yeah,
there should be more, right? Like if,
Yeah, like to be honest, I would never have done it on my own. My wife is like the perfect person to do this with because she comes from a background of like corporate marketing, and she does business coaching, and she knows a lot about all that side of things and helps me with my business a lot. Yeah. So so we teamed up, and I just do the art side of things. This is how I show up to my art career. Right. Yeah. And then she teaches them all the marketing and business stuff, and it's not like this is how you do art. It's like this, the art's for you to work out for yourself, but this is how you build a business off really your artwork.
If there's any free spots, I'll definitely take you up on that sometime.
Yeah. Well, check it out, artcareeracademy.com.
This poddy is sponsored by Podrigi Beer, a locally focused brewery heavy on all things art and music. This podcast is also sponsored by Vince Lizzie, serving Collingwood and surrounding suburbs the tastiest pizzas since 2020. Head over to vincelizzie.com and see for yourself. Now let's get on with the show. Do you notice the significance of the fact that you did it all on the 20th episode? Do you know the statistic about podcasts?
Yeah, that most of them drop off then.
At 21.
Yeah.
I got told that like 2 weeks ago. We're on what, 13 now? 12? Yeah. 13. But yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is,
Yeah, I just released episode 186 yesterday.
You're on that shit.
Yeah, but I've had chunks where I've taken like a year and a half off.
Oh really?
Yeah, over COVID, it just felt weird. I started having to do them over Zoom, and I've done heaps of Zoom interviews, but for some reason,
energy, it's a little bit different.
I just locked myself in a cocoon and just painted, and I worked on my style and all that sort of stuff, and I don't know. I ended up picking it back up and. Yeah, I love it. Like it's opened up so many doors for me. I've met so many people, and it's just great to sit around and have good conversations, really, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah. Which is like honestly, with any kind of art, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to generate good conversations between people. That's awesome. You've exhibited at is it the Hole in NYC?
Yeah.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah.
The Art Hole or the Hole?
No, the Hole. The Hole. I used to be in a studio called the Arts Hole.
Oh, really?
But this is they stock my artwork.
Cool.
And they've showed me at an art fair in Copenhagen.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
But I work with them a bit, but I'm wanting to build that relationship a lot more.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this podcast will get you there. Does have you experienced like as an artist? Because I know you traveled a lot and you were in NYC, and I heard all those stories as well when you were over there as a young artist. But have you gone back abroad? I guess as like a refined artist, and like have you noticed how those scenes have changed now? Like
I've exhibited overseas a lot.
Yeah.
Like I had a solo show in Tokyo, and I had a solo show in London, and also Spain, and just I've exhibited around a bit. So I like to travel with my art because now it's tax deductible. It's like it's sort of first thing I start looking at the map and going, where do I want to go on holiday? And then I start working out if I've got any contacts with galleries and start connecting with people. And then if I tee up an art project and fly over and do that, but go on a big holiday, usually get a round the world ticket.
That's cool. Round the world ticket. I wonder what that even looks like. Is that an option when you're
it's like 4 stops, and then you can tap on some extras and that.
Yeah,
it's the best way of doing it. You can see so many countries. A few years ago I had a show in London. Yeah. Well, a few years, 2019 now. But I stopped off in Asia for a while, had a holiday there, went over to London, then went to Portugal, and then I went to New York and then Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then made it my way back around to Melbourne. So it was all just like in the same trip. It was all on the same ticket.
Do you ever adapt your style slightly based off of where you're going? Like if you were going to go do the show in Tokyo, would you ever put like Japanese like calligraphy and stuff like that? Or do you feel like... As long as
it flows out of me.
Of course.
Yeah. Like I paint my surroundings a lot. Like, but and I definitely draw them a lot. But it would, as long as it's not forced. I'm open for things, but there are things that pop up definitely, especially like if I'm doing landscape, like the shapes of the trees might be related to the
for sure
the area I'm in, or yeah, it seeps in all different ways.
Yeah, because I'm looking at all the trees as well here. It's actually really nice that we can look at it while we're talking about it as well. But I say like I guess the juxtaposition between the trees and then all the barbed wire.
Yeah.
As well. Do you have any sort of like, I guess like, what is the intent with the barbed wire specifically?
Oh, that was more looking for, like I spent a lot of my youth walking up and down the train lines and we were always looking for holes in fences. And it was like the thing, you know, you're trying to find the hole in the fence and then, you know, when you're painting a train in the train yard, you're sort of trapped in a cage but not wanting to be busted as well. So the hole in the fence is really, it's really, I don't know, it's had a lot of impact in my life. And it's just like I said, as a metaphor for opportunity as well. Yeah. Like, there's lots of opportunity out there and you can be caged in the mind, but if you can open that opportunity up and go for it.
You'll see the like mental bolt cutters or whatever
exactly.
it is that you use for, for that stuff.
Yeah. That's really cool. I think there's a great distinction between the lettering that people do in graffiti and the characters that they draw. And I like that you obviously paint nature. So that means that you're looking at nature, or are you inspired by what you feel inside to create nature? And same goes for the characters. Is it something that you decide consciously that you're going to draw somebody, or is it something that you just generate and it comes through you, it flows out of you, it's subconscious?
It's hard to say. Like with the nature, a lot of that came into my art over the last 3 years when I was living up near Byron Bay. I was just I had a big studio on a farm. I was surrounded by trees and animals and stuff, and a lot more nature seeped into my art then. But when I go to paint, I have this technique where I call it taking the pot of paint for a walk around the studio. And like if I'm working on a painting, it's like that needs green, I'll open the green. Then I'll look around the studio and be like, oh, what else is getting green? And everything will end up getting a bit of green.
Oh,
like not everything, but most things will. And things that I haven't planned for, and some things might be blank and just like I'll just mark up a shape and it's like, oh, that'll be a head, or this I'm just cleaning the brush as well.
Do you just paint the way you feel? Yeah,
I have certain paintings which are just brush cleaners. A lot of the trees are painted through just me cleaning my brushes. Like that's how all the bark is done on the on the trunks and stuff, because I'm quite environmentally conscious and I don't want to wash much pigment down the sink. And so I'm always like, whenever the paintbrush hits the pot of water, it's always as clean as I can possibly get it. So there's paintings that are just really made in that way, and everything just sort of flows out of me, and I don't think much about it. I just act, you know.
Yeah, so you're just like saving the environment. You're planting literal like trees in your artworks. That's wild as
I chuck on some tunes and just get into it, you know, go with the flow. Like some things are very meticulously planned out and many things aren't, you know. It's just the way it is.
What's your like music go-to? Like, do you have a specific playlist that you use? Do you just fluctuate? What kind of music do you actually listen to?
I listen to only records in the studio.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got like
you got the turntable there?
Yeah, I've got piles of records over there and stuff. Cool. But I jump around a few genres, I guess. Like I listen to a lot of like 90s hip hop I grew up on, so there's a lot of that. But I also listen to lots of vintage reggae, rocksteady, and lots of soul, blues, heaps of jazz. All sorts of stuff, like folk music, like anything.
What have you been blasting lately?
Oh, heaps of stuff. Yeah. Like I don't know. I bought this the other day. Bought this on the weekend.
Whoa! I've seen that colour before.
Yeah, yeah, they're like a rock band. Like not a rock. They're like funk, soul, and reggae mixed. They're from Abbey Road Studios in the 70s. You know?
Fucking A.
Yeah. I bought this the other day. Tour of Duty soundtrack, man. This is awesome.
Soundtrack. What is that?
Tour of Duty was a war TV show back in the day, in the 90s, but it was set in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it's just got all that 60s, 70s war, like Vietnam War era music, but that was only $10, you know.
Cool. Do you go record like hunting around here?
Yeah.
There's so much good stuff. Who would you recommend around this area? What are your favourite like vinyl places?
Well, if you're into hip hop, I'd recommend Union Heights. Frank up the road. He's always looks
Shout out to
me.
Frank.
And then there's Greville Street Records around the corner. They're good. Yeah. And I don't know. Like I like to travel around, and when I go on holiday, I always buy lots of records as well overseas. It's much cheaper overseas.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's got really expensive lately. Like,
it's like $90 now for records, for like new records.
I know. That's why I love a bargain. Like that Tour of Duty record, I'm loving it. It cost me $10. You know, like at first, I used to go out and drink in the pubs a lot in my 20s and 30s, and then I sort of stopped doing that when I became an artist and started putting that money into buying records. So every time I bought a record, it was like, that's a round of drinks I didn't buy at the pub.
Honestly, though, I have a similar mentality, but with like I don't know if I can say this on the podcast, but the other day I had a policeman like stop me and say that my car was unregistered and stuff like that. And at that point, he was getting real crazy. And I just kept thinking one thing to myself the whole time. I was like, I really hope that he doesn't find me, and if he doesn't find me, I just want to waste that money on art. Like, and I did. I bought a whole new like microphone setup and stuff like that after that, because before him having it, I'd rather fucking use it myself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that we, as creators, we're not really making anything out of nothing. Like, we always have to have materials to create. So when it comes down to it, if you didn't have any money, if you didn't have all the success, all the fame, would you still be doing the same thing? Or would you try again, at least? I guess.
I was doing it for years before I
thought so.
I was doing it since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But also, I had a few false starts to my art career. Like, I was like unemployed, going, "This is it. I'm an artist now," and had a crack. I did it once when I was living in London, and I just couldn't afford the studio, and the money started drying up. Didn't know how to sell my art, all that type of stuff. And then I tried it again in Spain, and I had a few exhibitions over there, and things were going well, but it wasn't the right market for me. Like in Barcelona, people weren't wanting to drop like 3K on a painting or anything like that. It just wasn't really happening. And then I moved back to Melbourne, and then started the podcast and all that type of stuff. And and I found that like Melbourne's an amazing city. It's an amazing art city, and it's an amazing city to live as an artist, because even though there's thousands and thousands of artists here, there's still enough opportunity to go around for everyone. Everyone's looking for different things, and there's a level of disposable income here as well that allows people to go and like, it's not weird for like a 35-year-old couple to go, oh, let's get a painting for the lounge room and spend $5,000. Like it's not that weird. Whereas a lot of other countries, people aren't doing that.
That's cool. Melbourne that way.
And people love art in Melbourne. It's awesome. It's like I've lived in lots of different cities. I've traveled all over the place, and I've been immersed in lots of art scenes. And the art scene here in Melbourne is world class. But it's like a big secret at the same time.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like you just have to know how to tap into it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Something's been playing on my mind. Do you have any artwork up at Revs by any chance?
I do.
I've seen this stuff. Revs,
I don't know if anything's still there. I've done the poster wall. They do the big poster. I've done that. I've painted the rooftop, which would have been gone over now as well. Tagged the Dunnies when I'm pissed a few times.
Yeah,
with something with the face?
Yeah, something might still be in there. There's probably some stickers around or something, but I don't know. I don't think I've got much in there these days. I haven't frequented it for a long time.
But there is a sort of underground scene when it comes to art where like people put their art up in like the most prolific clubs, for example. Not necessarily prolific, more so on the opposite side of the spectrum, like the dive bars and stuff like that. So like Ha, for example, I've seen like is up at Revs, and that's apparently like such a big deal. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, Revs has an amazing art, like it's like an art gallery in there. But people don't realise that
it is. There's Banksy as well.
Yeah, there's Banksy stuff in there. There's Dabs Myler, Brendan Huntley, Shepard Fairey. There's lots of well-known artists that have got artwork in there, and it's got its reputation for being the open all weekend type of place. But I love going in there and looking at the art, and
for sure, especially if you go like during the day, and it's like I think it's called Colonel Tan, so you can have awesome pad thai. Just eat pad thai and fucking look at awesome art.
Yeah, and they've also there's a friend of mine that runs the Seasons of Change, which is an exhibition that happens there as each season turns over. And that's an opportunity for a lot of up and coming artists, and also artists from the graffiti world who wouldn't normally exhibit their work. They have little exhibitions, and
that's cool.
There's a lot of artists who I know would never approach a gallery career or whatever, but would exhibit their art there.
Yeah, because of the cultural kind of reputation.
Yeah. I picked up a Jizzo painting from there.
Really?
Yeah, do you know that guy?
You mean the rapper? No.
Oh, he's been a rapper. He had a documentary on him and stuff like that.
True?
Yeah.
You're painting from him there?
Yeah.
Wow.
But, he wouldn't go to be in a big gallery.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So...
Damn. What galleries do you feel that you'd want to like shout out here? Like, what are some of your favourite galleries here?
I got to start with Lennox Street Gallery. They represent me, and they do a good job. They've I've worked with them for years now, probably about 8 years, I'd say, and they've given me the opportunity and the platform to have some really big exhibitions, and it's given me a marker of where I'm at in the art world as well. Yeah. Like they exhibit a lot of my heroes, and it shows me that I'm on my way, doing my thing. Yeah. And there's I've always liked Outre Gallery.
Utre's cool. We were there the other day actually.
Yeah. They've helped me out a lot over the years as well.
There's two of them now, isn't there?
Yeah, one in the city and one in Fitzroy. Yeah. Like I when I was younger, I used to go buy prints from them. Yeah. They'd always have like like graffiti and street artists from overseas, you could buy their artist prints through Outre, and it was the only place that was really doing that. So it's great to see them what they're doing these days. And
so they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they've been around since I don't know. I can't quote on that, but I'd say early 90s.
Cool.
Maybe. And they were doing galleries before they were Outre as well.
That's awesome.
Like Tune In and all that sort of stuff. So, I don't know. There's lots of new galleries popping up. Like I've been out of the city for the last 3 years, and there's all these new galleries I really want to check out.
Yeah.
Like Magma Gallery in Collingwood. They've I haven't been there yet, but I've seen their exhibitions online, and they seem to be doing a great job. And
cool.
Also Tulano in the city. Like I love what they're doing. And
I'm trying to think if there's any like DIY like share house galleries going on.
Yeah.
I can't say if I've in my time ever seen. Have you ever had anyone like exhibit DIY?
Well, that one time we went to that party in Preston, I believe, there was that guy. Yeah. There was a lot of graphic art being sold at that place. So.
Because you see that in music a lot as well. Like you see people just doing their own shows in their houses or in their garages and stuff. I'm just wondering if like that's a thing anymore, or if there ever was a thing. It's like your own. Because eventually it would become a gallery, right? If you did it for long enough, that would be your space.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like saying like when it comes to graffiti. You're not selling yourself when you're putting graffiti up on the wall, but when it comes to something like a Banksy, like people will chop it out of the wall, or people will literally chop it out of the wall with like a drill hammer.
Oh yeah, and they'll pay like anything for it.
And then they'll try and sell it for 10 grand or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Whereas like you're not trying to sell yourself, you're trying to sell your inner creativity. It's a different sort of market.
Yeah, I've always thought about having a pop-up exhibition in a really nice Airbnb. You just rent the Airbnb. You don't tell anyone.
That's actually a genius do a little event.
Idea. Make it all real nice and stuff. Yeah. Move some of the furniture around and create a lot of wall space.
Like a penthouse.
Invite
everyone over to your penthouse.
It's cheaper than hiring the gallery.
It would be.
Like galleries take high commissions. Like a good your average gallery would take 50% on all sales.
Oof.
So it's if you can back yourself, and if also galleries need to give you an opportunity to exhibit, and if no galleries are giving you any play, you got to create opportunities yourself. And I've done lots of that in my art career, and I started off like that, like exhibiting like that with friends. We just take over vacant spaces. I was part of one in London in 2001 called what was it called? Finders Keepers. And it had like really big name artists like D-Face and like a whole bunch of people. Mysterious Al, who lives in Melbourne, he was in it. Matt Sewell, like there was all these like big name artists who were part of it, and we all just had found a vacant like bottle shop, and it was all boarded up, and we just bought our nails and hammers and hung all the artwork up and had a massive street party, and there was a bottle shop across the road, and everyone was buying beers, and someone bought a speaker, had some music going, and it was a lot of fun. But at the end, everyone was just like, everyone just help yourself to some artwork and take it. Because
that's the way. That's my dream.
Yeah, but that was like my first ever exhibition. And since that DIY aesthetic, it showed me that it could be done without any permission, really.
Yeah,
we didn't have permission off anyone to do that. We just
really
made it happen.
That sounds like a life changer. That sounds like a life changer, like a big milestone for you.
It was. Yeah, it was massive. Yeah, really... And also, like even back then, I wasn't even doing art. I just did like graph on wood. I didn't know. Like that's all I knew how to do. So, but to see my other friends who were doing characters and they were doing people were doing other styles of art, and it was just, and then I saw them actually start to get paid for all that, and it was really it got me fired up. Yeah.
What kind of like advice do you have for people? Like, I think it's a big one when you want to price your work and you don't know how much to value yourself or back yourself. I know there's like a Picasso quote. Do you know the one about like the napkin?
Yeah.
About old school. I don't know how it goes. It's like somebody asked him for a portrait of them, and so he drew something on like a little napkin, and then he's like, and he's about to give it to him. He's like, no, that'll be like a gajillion dollars, or like that'll be $1,000 something. And they're like, what the hell? You just did that? He's like, no, but I spent my whole life learning how to do that. How do you go about pricing oneself?
Well, you sell enough art, you work it out.
Yeah.
In the beginning, most artists start off, cheap and then build up. It's like anything, really.
Well, like you said, you were giving away your artwork at that party.
Exactly.
It's like you have to get your name out there, and then people will come to you and be like, "Hey, but if I pay you like $50, would you do this?" Of course, and then you just stack it up.
Yeah, because it organically will happen over time.
Yeah.
But also, I believe that a good measure is to look at your peers, and it's easy to say like, I'd say I'm on par with that person over there, that guy over there, that girl over there. And then you start going to their exhibitions, you're seeing what they're charging. You see, galleries usually work with you a lot as well. Once you're working with a gallery, you bring your paintings in, and if you say they're this much, they'll be like, no, it's too cheap. Like, because art's a luxury item and it's got to be treated in that way. If you treat it like, here's this painting I spent 3 months on, $400. It's like you don't value your art, you don't value yourself.
It's a self-esteem thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you'll work it all out. Like I sell art from all different prices. Like the cheapest thing I sell is like $350.
Cool.
And it goes all the way up to like 25 grand. But
what's like the most expensive thing that you have? What's the
like right now in here, like this painting next to you.
Cool.
Like that, that's like a 20 grand painting.
Well,
you want to buy it?
Yeah, let's make a deal right now.
Dan and I used to have this thing. We used to hang out. We used to do art together. And then at one point, I was working on this piece that took me it was an experiment. It was a brand new concept I'd come up with, and it was very fine details. And it took me about maybe 10 hours to complete in total, something like that, maybe 20 even. And then he literally just wrote on it. And you know what he wrote? He priced it. He said like, this is worth $500. And then we started drawing on each other. We started pricing each other's artwork just out of the stuff that we'd come up with in a matter of minutes or hours or on the spot, really.
I do it a lot, actually, with my mates' pieces, some of them which obviously have not sold for the prices I put on it, but I have priced some of them, collaborative,
My friend was here with his kid the other day, and his son did a drawing. And then, and I had a little bag with some price tags, some sticky price tags in there. And he stuck the drawing to the wall, then stuck a price tag next to it. And it said like, I think $3,500 or something like that. He goes, there you go. If you want that, it's $3,500. And I said, this guy gets the art world straight away. He backs himself, said, will you do me a discount? He goes, no, mate, the price is the price. And it's like,
no bartering, right? That's the price.
It's his first attempted sale, and he already gets it, and he's only like 5 years old or something.
There's some facets to art. There is the creative potential, like how different, how original is the artwork. There's how much detail is in it, how much like time has been put in it, and then there's the skill that's gone behind it. So like you can say somebody is very creative, but they don't have the skills to put out what their potential is. And I think you have to balance those elements very carefully if you're willing to go ahead and make it your career, if that is your career. Whereas I think creativity in itself is invaluable. It's a facet of the luxury that is art. But it comes from subliminal messaging, comes from inspiration, it comes from the exterior world that we've absorbed over time.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm trying to say with that. I'm just like really that there's those three facets that I consider to be important. And but the most important one for me is really the creative aspect. It's like what it means to you and to other people without getting too carried away.
Yeah. Yeah, storytelling is a big part in selling artwork. Like, you know, with certain artists, like you look at them and you know the backstory, and it's like if you see an artist and you look at their artwork and go, oh, as they say, like my 5-year-old could have done that or whatever.
Nah, that's bullshit.
But if you look at their whole career and what they've built up to get to that point, and it makes sense, you know, like it's sort of like, yeah, they can do that, and that works in line with, if you zoom out on their whole career, it's like that painting completely makes sense. And you can see why it's like $7 million because of everything they've built up. And so that's why we talk about like the art career as well. Like there's so much outside of just the creativity to actually to have a whole career, be able to zoom out, and lots of people you work with, certain people who buy your art, you know, galleries and different rooms that it's exhibited in, and all that thing, it all sort of makes up what this like art career is. And if you're just tucked away in your bedroom painting away, it doesn't matter if you're the best in the world, if there's not the right eyes seeing it, and it's being seen in the right
like
places.
nobody knew about his shit until you know he was dead. So many artists are like that too.
Yeah, totally.
But a kid couldn't have made that. A kid doesn't have the life experience to make a Rothko or a Pollock. It's not.
That's up to your judgment.
It is up to your judgment, but then there's the conceptual reasoning behind how it was even made in the first place. So if a kid, I think what they're saying is a kid could emulate it, but a kid couldn't, because it's all about the precision of certain things, not the precision of the paint splattering, but the why he chose the paint. The gestural movements behind that as well, the whole concept of the thing in the first place. I think it's can't conceptualize that.
Based on economy and judgment. It's like nothing is certain in life but death and taxes. And if you take that, quote and put that into your art, it's like, well, yeah, I've got to pay my taxes and I'm going to die. So what can I do with my life? What can I create?
Yeah.
It literally boils down to that.
But people are like, with all the AI stuff that's coming about now, like heaps of artists are freaking out about that.
Yeah,
going, oh man, like, you know, look at this beautiful painting that was created with AI. But at the same time, it's like it's lost the human touch. So if you've built like a personal brand around your artwork, you've got no threat with AI. Where is if you're just a gun for hire, someone goes, oh, can you draw a telephone and a bunch of flowers? I need it for this magazine, then that's when you're in trouble, because you can just grab that off AI, you know. Whereas if you've built a career and a name for yourself within the art world, then no AI can replicate that. It's a difference between having the Mona Lisa and a poster of the Mona Lisa, you know.
Yeah.
It's
And I'm also a firm believer, especially.
Well, can you explain that? Sorry, the difference between the poster and the Mona Lisa. Like,
but it's like
what's the crux of that statement?
Okay, well, it's like, say someone says, I've got the Mona Lisa hanging on my wall at home.
Yeah.
And you say, no, it's in the Louvre. It's like, no, I've got it at home. And like, they show you, and it's a poster of the Mona Lisa. You can say, no, that's not it. That's a replication of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
it's just a poster. Whereas the one that's hanging in the Louvre, it has all the human emotion, and it's actually handmade. It's handcrafted. And I see that is the human touch, which is very valuable within art. And then with machines and AI, it's like a print. It's like a poster of it.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it. And I think that anyone who, you know, who doesn't back themselves as an artist,
who hasn't put in the hard work, or something,
is at risk of just being overshadowed by AI. And whereas if you can build a brand around your art and stand for something, and stand for a style, stand for the imagery, your technique, everything you've built, then I think that you're safe from the AI threat.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I think, and what I'm starting to see in your art now is the blood, sweat, and tears behind it, literally.
That's what I was going to say before. Like the human touch, you are transmitting, whether you're using paint or ink. I do it with ink. Your pulse, your very pulse is going onto that piece of paper. Every little tremble, every little mistake is the human condition, is the human touch, because we are all flawed, and that's the beauty of the art pieces. So if you have an algorithm that's been trained a particular style, it could never possibly learn that, no matter how hard it tried. It can't it can't be flawed enough to make these pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like there was a painting that sold for $1 million the other day. It was made by AI.
Yeah, I was going to say congratulations. I was like,
It
was made by AI and it was sold for
$1 million.
That's like, what are they, do you know what painting that was?
No, but my stepdad sent me a video on it and it was so creepy. It's this it's an AI robot lady. It just looks really creepy, and she was painting and talking about, and she's explaining the art.
She's saying it's an AI artist?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh fuck! There's an AI artist backing the AI work.
Literally, iRobot.
And they explain it?
Yeah, they talk about the feelings and emotion that they're putting into the work. And
I don't like that.
But in a real creepy way.
Yeah.
It's like, I only got halfway through the video.
Was it happy once it sold? Did you see the thing smile?
I didn't make it to the end. I was like, man, this is creepy.
Also, who gets that money?
The programmer, maybe. Who knows?
Holy shit. So the guy's, oh my god, he's getting $1 million. He just programmed this like...
Well, who knows? Who else does it go to? Does AI... You don't want AIs to have bank accounts because then they can build AI armies. AI
art galleries.
Well, one of my favorite artworks of all time is it's a genre, let's just call it, but it's made in the laboratory, in a biological laboratory. So there's these fluorescent proteins that we attach to certain parts of cells. Let's just say the mitochondria in a cell, and they glow. So they've got neon greens and neon oranges and etc. I'm sure. Have you seen these artworks before?
No, I haven't.
They're called electron microscopy art. The way that I got into biology was through reading about these immortal cells, and they were characterized and they were visualized using these fluorescent markers, and you've got these beautiful highways or beautiful galaxies, let's just say, of cells, and that almost has like a human element. But these people who are in the lab, they're starting to create art galleries, and there's all these inviting sort of galleries where this is the art of biology. So this is being shown at Monash in the Biological Discovery Institute, let's just say.
That's cool. It merges the two worlds together, right?
Yeah, it was like at that Preston place when we went there. There was this guy who was painting with his blood. It was sort of like that sort of thing. It kind of freaked me out. When it comes to like these on the fence sort of art styles, do you think that every art style should be monetized? Do you think that there is anything can be art, let's just say?
Yeah, totally.
So
I think if you're willing to back it and call it art, why not? There's that guy shat in a can and got it sealed up and put it in a gallery. And
he took a shit in it.
In a can.
We're not talking about Duchamp though, right? That was
nah.
Because I was gonna say Duchamp didn't shit in the toilet thing, but he replicated it, right?
Yeah, well,
he just took it out.
He put the toilet there in the gallery, but I'm just a disclaimer, full disclaimer.
Yeah,
I'm not an art theorist or anything like that. I'm just a guy who came up doing graffiti and then started doing art and then has built a career for himself. So it's like.
But you've got more of a say than your traditional art theorist. You actually,
I know. But I mean, when it comes to conceptual art and stuff like that, where does art, start and end and all that? I'm a painter and I represent imagery with materials and but as far as conceptual art, I'm starting to really get into it, but I'm still quite new to it. So to speak on really deep themes about art, and what is art and what isn't art. I feel like I'm a bit whatever I say now, I might be listening to this in a year's time and
disclaimer.
Go, shit.
That's why we put disclaimer on.
Yeah, I'm hoping you get something out of it, because maybe we're talking about everybody has their own studio, everybody has their own materials. What can we do with those, and how can we monetize them if that's what we want to do at the end of the day? I think as far as I'd like to dream of being a research scientist at the end of the day, it would be equally pleasing and satisfying for me to be producing art made from glowing cells, essentially.
I think we're talking about, there's like two different things here. There's the monetization of art and whether something is art in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think anything can be art.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I agree.
Yeah, as long as you back yourself,
But that's the important part, to truthfully back yourself. So you have to be doing it with integrity, and you have to be doing it for what you would consider the right reason. Everyone has a different interpretation of what art is. But for going back to the Duchamp toilet, not the toilet where the dude, I don't know much about that.
Everybody has a different toilet. Everybody has a different toilet. Everybody has a different kitchen.
I was having the same chat with my dad. And it was just like, he just like couldn't wrap his head around like why it would be considered art. And I go, well, it is art because of the context with which it happened in. That hadn't happened before. He just, I don't know if he blew everyone's mind, but he definitely rattled the fabric of what art is. And that is creation. That is creativity. So it is, for me, my personal definition, not that you want to hear it, is it's contextual. It's based off of the time. Like, we're always moving forward with art. So if we can continue to push those boundaries together, then it is art. And maybe he did by putting that, by taking the dump in the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the extension of what Duchamp was doing a long time ago.
I also see a lot of like craftspeople like transition. Like, so they're making their craft. Like, say you're a furniture maker. And you're making furniture, which are like artworks in themselves.
They're all very artsy people. I know a few as well.
But then say you start changing the shapes and you say these are no longer pieces of furniture, they're sculptures.
Yeah.
And you back that, but you're still doing exactly the same thing. You're still cutting the wood, gluing it, sanding it, varnishing, all that sort of stuff. But you're changing the shapes and you're saying, no, this is now a sculpture.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like, it's that perception and also the rooms that it's put in and all that type of stuff. Like, I know from making functional objects and selling them as art, like certain things, like say for instance this mug, right? Like, I made this mug, made it with my hands. It was a pain in the ass to make, and I made a bunch of them, and some of them didn't work. And as a mug, it's like I can't sell it for $500. It's like but I put $500 worth of work into it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I chopped the bottom off and just said, no, it's just a cylinder sculpture,
suddenly the price
and it'd be like
goes
two and a
up,
half grand, I can sell it because it's not a mug.
Well, people don't have, people aren't very open-minded when it comes to, what's the word for it? Not surroundings, but
functional objects.
Yeah, but like when people like make, like, I don't know, like a table is a table because of how we perceive tables to be, with like, I guess initially with like 4 legs and like a thing you could use, to put stuff on. You turn the table on its side, it's not really a table anymore. It's like the Rene Magritte thing where it's like, how do you say? Do you know that this is not a pipe?
This is not a pipe. Yeah.
Well, it's not. You can't actually smoke it. But to most people, it looks like a pipe. It's pretty convincing rendering of a pipe, but it's not. It's all about like, artisanry. What is the fucking word? Artisanry?
Artistry?
Artisan. Like people who make stuff initially maybe with the functionality in mind first.
Yeah.
And then after, you can kind of like make it pretty and stuff like that. But it is to be drank from. It is to be that. It's like we put so much like, I don't know, purpose behind being able to use things, but we just need to step back and be like, well, you're right. If you did like, take the whole bottom out of that, you could completely sell it as a sculpture. The fact that it's a service to someone is a disservice to you in selling it, which is insane.
Well, think about like how much coffee you're going to put in that mug over the years. You're going to use that mug for at least 100 coffees, and how much does 100 coffees?
I'm already done way over that.
How much would you spend on 100 coffees anyway? Like, eventually, it pays you back in terms of the functional value.
It pays you back with the smile that it has. Like that's all I want to see when I wake up is that. Yeah.
I think sentiment is like a really key word when it comes to art, and when it comes to functional art as well, because it's puts together the value, puts together the materials, and it puts together the creative process into it, and it gives it meaning.
Maybe we just need to, like, as a culture, like, sit down and kind of listen to each other more, rather than like putting up stuff. I don't know how you feel about when galleries, when like people describe their works or like do guided, audio tours. And in Las Vegas, they do that when you go into like, I don't know, the galleries there. You have to put these headphones and you just go around. It tells you what you're seeing, but I don't know, if you sat down with an artist and he actually said, well, this is what I actually think, and he doesn't have to go super deep in it, then we could empathize with that, and we could just start to see the beauty in, not the mundane, but we could just be more open-minded to other people's art in general. Just be like, well, I appreciate that you think that way, and I appreciate that you put that much effort into that. That's cool. Like, putting in effort is cool. That's why AI isn't cool.
Yeah.
Because that lack of effort is just like, we don't need any more of that. I don't want to just sit in my house eating fucking Pizza Hut on Uber Eats and just like, I don't know, surrounded by AI put. That's not life. There's no pulse in that. There's no rhythm in that. It's really scary. Like, I guess for my specific like generation as well, like we're coming up with that. You know what I mean? The threat of that started off as a bit of a joke, and you could, and now it's like a civil war. Now you got to take fucking sides. I'm in a band, and I've got artists in my band, and we don't like stand for that stuff anymore. And it's weird to have to take a political stance on it, but you have to.
Well, you can joke around.
Now,
you can joke around with graphic art as well, with fine art.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But at least that stuff has that kind of human touch. Like, we need it now more than ever. The argument for art being like, we need it now. Not only do we need art, but we need to understand, maybe like relearn what art is again as a culture, maybe.
Well, our whole society is built around art, from artists and designers. The clothes we wear, the buildings we live in, and
take for granted.
Yeah, the cars we drive, like everything's designed. Even the food, the packaging,
ergonomics.
Yeah, like it's all artists and designers making all this stuff.
Yeah,
that's why they have so much like value, because their art is everywhere in everything that we touch.
Well, even going back to like inventors like Da Vinci and stuff like that, like they were inventors and painters, right? Like both. It wasn't seen as like being one or the other. You are just like the idea of a Renaissance man. Like that's awesome. Like that's what everyone should strive to be. I think as soon as you pigeonhole yourself into being one particular type of thing, like I'm a drummer, I'm a singer, so like it's like you're a musician. And even then, that's already too niche. You're not really a musician. You're a creative who uses that instrument. To,
you live here, right? You live here. There's a bed.
No.
No?
Nah, man. Nah. I never.
You live in St Kilda.
I never live at work. No.
Nah.
I haven't had a home studio since I was drawing at the kitchen table.
Okay.
But ever since I've been an artist, I've always had a studio.
It's good, right, to have that separation.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you need that. Because even as the journey to the studio, you're in a new place. You're in a new environment.
Yeah.
You have your bed here. It's like, well, I could make art or I could go sleep.
I'm here to paint. I'm here to work. But prior to, like, for decades, I didn't have a studio, and I'd only paint on the streets. So I'd have, like, somewhere I'd store my paint. But every time I went to paint, I'd load up my bag, or I'll have a milk crate on the back of my bike and fill it up with paint, just cruise around and paint stuff.
Yeah.
But I worked like that for decades, and that was and I got, I don't know, thousands and thousands of paintings done in that way.
Yeah.
But
prolific.
Yeah.
Do you have any like rituals like before you start painting? Obviously music and all that stuff.
Yoga Nidra. Let's talk about Yoga Nidra.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I got a few rituals I do. I paint, like the way I work is I paint in the mornings, like all morning till lunchtime. Mm-hmm. And then, so because it's easy to sort of get into the studio and open a laptop and go, I'll just check my emails, and then
you're sucked in.
Man, you could be there all day.
All day.
It's like, so I've got a strict no digital till after lunch.
Cool.
And that's why, so I paint all morning, and then, do a bit of meditation and do yoga nidra, like I was talking about.
In the studio?
Yeah, it's on the couch there, just lay down in 15, 20 minutes, and it just sort of regulates my body.
So that's before you
start? No, it's like afterwards.
Really?
Yeah, and just before lunch. And then I eat my lunch and I do a bit of study every day. Like I always study something, like while I'm eating. And I've just got lists of things I'm studying. And always good to learn some stuff. And then there's a skate park over the road, so I just I go for a roll around the skate park after lunch, and
so
then,
it's like a full routine basically.
It just gets me moving, and then I come in and do all my emails and stuff like that, and get any admin done, and if there's time in the afternoon I get back to painting.
Do you ever see, it's happened to me once in my meditation stuff, I usually draw based off just like where the line takes me rather than visualizing it. I find it's a lot easier. But I have had one time where I was meditating, because I do grounded meditation since COVID, actually, since that specific thing that happened to us where I needed to meditate. It was too hectic. And I saw the entire piece of art that I was going to make in my head from a meditation. Do you ever find that you get like cool creative ideas from it?
All
it's
the time.
Huge, right?
All the time. Yeah, I even have one today.
Really?
Yeah, and I've got I'm coming up to a big exhibition next year, and I need to start working on it. I've got about a year to work on it.
Cool.
And I did a quick drawing yesterday, and it was just it's just here. It's just like really rough pencil sketch.
Cool.
And so there we go. So it doesn't look like much, but I visualized that in my meditation today.
Yes, you saw that.
And I know exactly what it's going to be, and it's going to be a real elaborate, like, painting.
Cool.
And I've got to do a whole series based off that. But a lot of that time doing meditation is, I'm just sort of tapped in to the vibration of my body and the flow and all that. And things come to me. It's not how I rely on getting my ideas or anything. No. I do a drawing every morning before coming in as well. So always got my eyes open. Even when I'm watching TV, like I'll take photos of the TV, screenshot things off Instagram.
Yeah.
Like take photos of things I see in the street. It's always like I'm always got my eyes open.
Yeah, screenshotting stuff is a huge one as well. Yeah. I used to go through like lots of not actually in a gallery, but like I used to go and get like it would just show you like compilations of the best fine art of all the years. And when I was in art school, I would just like rip the pages out, and then eventually I just have like because they're not all my style, but basically of 300 of those, like a 300 page book, you can have like maybe like 10 or 5 that you just keep.
Yeah.
And they're super inspiring just to look around. Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to be thinking about something specifically. You can just be surrounded in that right kind of environment and the right things will come.
I've really found that drawing every day has been like the most powerful thing for my art, because when I first started doing that, it was over 10 years ago, and I didn't know what my art looked like at that point. And I found that through drawing every day, you're always looking for what can I draw tomorrow? What can I draw the next day? So you're always open for inspiration. Then you're actually backing that up with action. And when you do something over time, you get better and better at it. And then you end up in the studio. What can I paint? It's like, I've got these drawings, and it's like, I'm going to do that there and that there. And it just, it all feeds it. But it starts with just this 5-minute routine in the morning, and it feeds into everything. And I find that, when you're fully tapped in and you love something, and it's you don't look at it like a job. You're always on, if you know
it's
what I mean,
one
way
of
or another.
Your identity.
Your
structure.
You're watching a movie and it's like, man, look at that. Like, pause, photo, like, all right, let's carry on. Just all the time. Like, I pull over on the side of the road, take photos, all sorts of stuff.
I screenshot all the time. That's a big one.
The iPhone's awesome for arts. The photo thing in the iPhone. In fact, it's got a camera there and a photo library in it.
You can do collages now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. What medium do you use to draw?
Just a black and red pen.
Black and red pen.
Yeah. I'll show you some after this.
I've got
piles of them.
That's really cool.
So it's like 3 colors. I use the white of the paper as a color, and then just black and red.
Yeah. And, I need to add color to my ones. I've just been stuck in black and white. And then after a while, you assume it's just who you are. I'm a black and white guy. It's like, no, I just don't know how to use color. Gotta be upfront with that. Yeah.
I think that having that one extra color,
it adds so much. Yeah, I've seen your drawings. I'm just like, like it adds a level of inspiration, I think, to it. Whereas if it was black and white, I don't know, it's easy to be more judgmental and burn out really quick with just like black and white drawings. At least I've found. I literally can't like draw anymore. Like I tried drawing the other day. I was in the best environment. I was in Macedon at my bass player's house. Trees, the sun, like 2 dogs and a cat and shit. It's just like, there's nothing. There's nothing. But that's because throughout COVID, I would do a drawing a day. Just like you say, so I made like 600 or something artworks. But I pushed too hard to turn those artworks into something. It was always getting turned into content. And then after a while, you're like, fuck, if the Instagram isn't growing the way I want it to, then I must not be doing something right. And so you kind of just teeter off, basically.
Yeah.
It's a shame,
I found a light box to be a really good tool. To do like collaging and stuff, in terms of like, you've created something small, you can then add it to any other artwork that you've already got existing.
Light boxes are good, especially when you're refining something.
That's right.
Yeah, like
very multi-purpose in that sense.
Yeah, totally.
Have you ever like stenciled that face?
Yeah.
Do you have, and then, because we were talking about this the other day, I was wondering if some of the worst stencils, is it like can you ever, this sounds so weird, but like Mr. Potato Head kind of vibe where you could have like set mustache stencils and set eyebrows? Is that a thing? Is that a real
it could be.
Yeah, but you haven't done that.
No.
That'd be crazy, Imagine that. Just giant mustaches and stuff like that, take them around the city.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
I find it's actually quicker and easier to freehand stuff.
Oh, really? Of course.
Yeah. I just like, it's funny when stencils are, they have their place and they do their thing. But once you've sprayed it, you're stuck with like this cardboard, which is the image that you just painted on the wall, and you've got to walk away from the scene of the crime with the evidence
of
and
the thing,
and it's all wet. Like, what are you going to do with this drippy wet painting thing and all that? It was just, it was never for me. I prefer to just paint freehand. It's
for sure. You can just pack it up. It's easy.
Blast it out. Throw your cans if you got to run or whatever.
And also, there's that element of just having it be different each time.
Yeah.
Like you said, like none of these guys that we see are the same guy.
No.
There's always going to be a different thing. Like there's always going to be a different type of mustache length or face, symmetry. And that asymmetry again makes it fun.
It does.
Because you don't know exactly what you're going to get. Whereas maybe you could also burn out with stencils because you're just like, I'm just doing that. I'm a photocopier basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We paint.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Well, yeah, we've been going for nearly an hour and like 20 minutes now.
Oh, really?
Tom Gerrard, is there anything you want to say to the people of Left Brain, Right Brain? Anything you want to plug? Anything you've got coming up?
Let me think. Check out my podcast if you want to hear more art conversations. Bench Talk. It's Bench Talk, 2 words, and it is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Cool.
Also, if you're interested in growing your art career, check out artcareeracademy.com. It's a 6-week course I do with my wife, and we really have helped a lot of art careers over the time we've been doing it. Awesome. And thanks to everyone who's supported my career over the years. Thanks for you guys for giving me a platform to talk on. And thanks all the galleries, all my mates.
Each one individually.
Family, friends.
It's like an awards ceremony.
Just everyone. Like, man, I love life, and anyone who's helped me live this awesome life. Thank you very much.
Fucking A. Easy. Well, I've been Right Brain.
You've been Left Brain.
I've been Left. Yes, and
I've been Right Brain.
It's
been a privilege getting to speak to you and find out all about your career. It's very impressive. It's very humbling to meet you, if that's I guess that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.